welcome to the program. My name is Abman Kota, and you are watching the Tpn TV and Radio Network. Today, we want to talk about one very important thing. One thing we is not new at all in terms of Sierra Leone politics, but it's becoming some kind of ridiculous in the sense that in this 21st century, people are joining politics not because they get certain, ethical boundaries where then they use for make the able portray themselves into the public. They not care about their own credibility. They not care about their own ethics. Nothing absolutely. And these now people the way blame the old politicians and say now they not get respect and shame. What I mean, from since the 80s, okay, you see people the way they jump from one politics to another. Well, the 1996 elections, we bring in a multi-party democracy. It became clear that there are certain politicians where their own ambition or objective of joining politics, not so because they believe in certain political ideologies of them parties than them, but it's a way of, finding money, trying to get money. This is not the reason this way you see some people, when this party kind of power, then they jump from the young party waiting at the opposition to the party in power. This don't happen since 1996. And I must admit, say, in 1996 to 2002, in 1996 to 2002, Mr. Kabo, I can't call you now. In 1996 to 2002, we see how the president, the late Jean Kaba, the late Jean Kaba, Mr. Kaba, you're not supposed to ring, but I don't know what's happening when you ring. But anyway, in 1996, the late Jean Kaba being regularly no say this na a threat to we democracy. When politicians say they not get that ethical boundaries for say, you know what? I know they join politics because I want to become rich or wealthy. And they join politics because of some kind of ideological belief system we I get. So Tijan Kaba say this not something where it threats the very existence of we young democracy. So it been a try for prevent that, there are people who been they come out from the APC party during the time of Tijan Kaba, we want to go join the SLPP party because the SLPP was in power. Tijan Kaba did a very good job for make sure, say, some of them people then they say, no, if we all come to one party, anytime when a party can have power, everybody within the other party then jump to the other party, then there is no good democracy we'll get for practice. So it been a block some of them thing in them. And as Kroma come, it not been do a very good job at all for make it able to continue with them kind, practice then they for make sure say we secure with democracy. We see during the time of the APC government, a lot of SLPP and other political party jump from the SLPP, the PMDC, and other political parties. Them at that time then they go to the APC, and the president, President Anes Bai Koroma, and he been open in arm for accept all them things in there. That was a big mistake where President Anes Koroma do, And now, the same thing right now, they go on. Now this particular government, the SLPP government. I was expecting the SLPP government of Brigadier Julius Madabio for making able to follow in counterparts when Tijan Kaba, we actually try in level best for make sure say that cross carpeting, they become worst. So it been the blocker. So that was the expectation we I get because If we all say anytime when a political party they in power, the opposition party members them, they all get the chance for make them all left that political party, they go join the party in governance. Then tell me what's not the purpose of multi-party democracy. So you see how the reconfiguration of political parties or politics now salon don't begin for take a bad direction. It's not supposed to happen at all. I'm not going to blame too much Madabio, but again, too wrong cannot make right. I know say yes, during the time of the APC, William Party, we've been encouraging them to for happen. And some of who been the talk say, some of them see how they happen, so it's not supposed to continue to happen because now a threat to democracy, we young democracy. So I was expecting the mistakes the way the APC party government been do, the SL party government, the SLPP party government for been try for prevent them mistakes and they from happening for the sake of political sanity in our country. Just quite recently, we don't see a swath of a lot of NGC members them, we originally not been SLPP members them. Now the NGC members then they are, I will call you, the NGC members then they are now, then they swam to the SLPP and then say then they go back home. This right now they go on Sierra Leone. Would they go back home? Or I would not see. In fact, even the APC, the SLPP government, don't they encourage them people then they for make then left the NGC go back home? Is it an advantageous for the party? Yes, it is advantageous, but is it a threat to our democracy, our young democracy? Absolutely. Because when people then just believe, say, the only objective for joining a political party now for make it go milk the honey where that party they when that party they in a government. If not, if they left that party they go to another party within a government. When that party they lose election, then if they left that party they back, it go to another party. Who's can honey be politics here? Where would they try for play na salon? So you see, this is not the thing where we talk about in terms of reconfiguration, political ideology. How we want for configure with political ideology. I don't say there will never going to be cross carpeting. That will happen in any politics in any country. They say somebody they come out from one party they go, but the rate in which it is happening in Sierra Leone is just too dangerous for we young democracy. If we democracy don't strong enough for resist some of them temptations, then that's okay. One or two people then for cross carpets, na natural thing. But when a swath of people them, now because this party didn't have power, then they left their own party, then go in there because they expect say, then they go get a job na that political party there. That's now a very, very dangerous situation we democracy don't do. It's very, very dangerous. And I don't know what thing we get for do, we as Sierra Leoneans then get for do for make we able for prevent some of them here. Because to be honest with you, if this continue, then the importance of multi-party democracy is meaningless. Meaningless. If any time when a political party win election, all the other political party member them, they all rush to that political party there, then left their own party, then they go to that political party there for go join them. How long would they plan this? This is the thing. This is the situation where we don't begin found safe. The last two governments, both the APC and the SLPP government, especially now that it's becoming a kind of a culture, a tradition with we politics them. Both the SLPP and the APC are actually, let me ignore this guy first. I'll call him. Okay. So, this is not the situation where we find ourselves right now. If if we allow this for continue, if this continues, then with democracy, no matter what you think, no matter what in your affiliation, with democracy is at a crossroads. Enough will happen at all. You know, the rates is just too much. In fact, right now, the SLPP already don't create an entire committee where down for that one they no more than they pay. Anyone where want for join them from other political party, whether that person he believe what inside the SLPP believe or not, they are going to accept them people then. Like I said, politically speaking, it is good for them. Just like it been good for we, that the APC party government. But you know, democratically speaking, it is the wrong way this young democracy therefore happen. Therefore go. It's the wrong direction. Do you make sure say you mute your phone if you just join me, please. So this now we want to discuss today the party reconfiguration in Sierra Leone politics. Waiting at the threat to we young democracy. Why we they allow people that then just you know, jump from one party to another, like honeybees? Then usai no more you see sweetness, he jump he go there. Usai you see bitter, he commodity. Waiting at the threat to we young democracy. How we go able to prevent this? Like I said earlier in my monologue, it is very, very clear that Tpn Kaba was one of the best leader we don't ever get in Sierra Leone. I'm an APC, right? Me an APC. But if you come, when you look at the three presidents that we don't get so far since the fervent of we democracy in 1996 to present day Sierra Leone politics, Tpn Kaba is one of the best leaders in that country today. Whether somebody like him or not, but that's the truth. Somebody who they try to protect the values, you know, the integrity of with democracy. A good leader. But this in predecessors in counterparts when well in predecessor when Madabio and Madabio predecessor when Anes by Koroma, then don't put we young democracy in you know, very, very dangerous situation. And that's not the reason this way the TPN want to discuss this, for make people then see the threats where this they pose and how we go able to stop that. Now we put we politicking aside first. You know, we political you know, affiliations aside. For the sake of the country, let we put that one day aside and try to see who side with democracy they go wrong and waiting at the implication. Yes, we know say we all depend on different political parties or we support different ideologies. But a democracy without any you know, ideological belief system is nothing. It's not a democracy. It's nothing. Absolutely. When you join political party, not because you believe in an ideology, but you just want for get you hand to mouth, then there is no reason for that. Why would not they go back to a multi-party system? Yeah, why I say a single party system? We are in we get one party like China, and when the time reach, we appoint, and everybody is a member of that party. Day. Why would not forget that idea? Because wetin I dey see now with politics today and before, it make am very, very meaningless for a multi-party democracy. Let's have a one-party state again. I know say it sound ironical because somebody like me, we believe in multi-party system, where I believe say na the thing now and the way they make we country develop. For say, well, if this is going to continue, we not get any way for make we able to stop this, then let's go back to one-party state. Now frustration, I dey talk out of frustration because I can't find out saying we politicians them, they not give a damn about their own credibility, they not give a damn about their own ethic, they not give a damn about we own country, they just care about themselves. You know, today I dey see them they make party even at the SLPP party office. The one they win have been NGC and APC members them. Today they go to the SLPP party office, and they go declare say, hey, you know what? Now because of this, now make no more. I've been well and called because of this, because of that. Oh, I've been free say Madabio, I've been wicked like way people have been listening to voting people them in they talk. Now I don't see how Madabio this, Madabio that. So I don't believe say all voting I've been thinking about Madabio is wrong. So therefore I don't come back home. These are all bull crap way people then now excuse. Now shameless excuse that one day. It's very, very shameful. Just like it's shameful during the APC party, where an Eskoloma not able to prevent some of them things and therefore happen. Today, the same people there, where an Eskoloma they been welcome to the party, where if within itself, he very well know saying nothing way you know get for last, nothing way no real. Then people they not sincere, then go they go to that party there because they want for go get job. Till the same people then they try for go back and they tell you say, but APC na so thing, oh NGC na so thing, we don't come back home. Waiting, President Bio supposed for do for prevent this for the sake of we democracy. How we go able to prevent this? This na the question where I want for long we discuss today with my commentators them. I get David, I get Mr. Cabo, and I get Mr. Americano. Mr. Abdul, not call it. Maybe he depend do something. But this is very, very important. If you know somebody who believe in democracy, like why a lot of people then they talk about democratic principles. You know, I believe in the rule of law, I believe in democracy. How you go able to protect your democracy with this type of attitude from who leaders them? It jump from one party to another. It depends according to the season. Then chameleon politicians them. Where the environment na red, automatically it blend in, it turn red. If na blue, it turn blue. If na green, it turn green. These are some of the people who will get for shame. If we just say because na me own time this because na me own party they benefits today, so therefore I get for set months. You know they could do a good job for your country. You know they do a good job. Because to be honest, and you very well know say, in the moment the APC party or any other political party come to power again, the same people will leave the SLPP and go to that political party there. And then puts with democracy into a meaningless, situation. People don't need to get for take that democracy they serious again because I know say these are all the things. And the danger here is even with people that we young ones that we're supposed for those, separate for themselves from this type of archaic political practices where it don't happen for the past I don't know how many 30, 40 years. Now the same people then they come back, then they can practice the same nasty politics. Look them, most of the ones right now where they go now the SLPP headquarters for go declare. They are young people. They are not even old. These are young people where definitely they need for we expect them for make them change their young attitude because that kind of politics not they work again. If you like your county, that kind of politics you get for believe for something. There is one thing where always people then they talk and say if you not believe, if you not stand for something, you they fall for anything. That's not the situation where we find ourselves. And we young people, that we get where we expect it, and then therefore can take the mantle of power. After the old people let them pass, then they come with the same attitude, the same behavior, the same shameless behavior. So how we therefore for prevent this? How? Well, let me bring in commentators. Them. Let's discuss this in a more lengthy and detailed way. Mr. Cabo, this is not something, irrespective of what in your own belief system or what in your own political affiliation. If you somebody will elect the country, will not patriot, it is see some of them kind practice here they happen. And like I said, I don't want to blame one party. All the two parties don't practice this. The only thing where I go able to give credit to the SLPP government of late Tpn Kabab, we definitely try for minimize them thing. But all other Aneskromao, Madabio, they come boiling into this same dangerous situation. Go ahead. What's your own take?
Yeah, Mr. Mankota, thank you very much. And I also thank all the listeners and the commentators for giving me this opportunity for make I throw some light, as you mentioned. You know, Mankota, you need to go back to Africa and inherit your throne as the chief. You know, chieftaincy. The reason being that you already you are an APC man, we know. And just like I want to tell you, we're not able to discuss this matter in isolation. What I mean is that we cannot discuss it without bringing in APC rhetoric, neither without bringing in SLPP rhetoric. The situation is quite clear. You made the decision, and you don't already say our democracy is fragile, and the cause and why it is fragile, you already don't give that reason there, because I think SLPP under Tpn Kabab after the war was building structures, democratic structures, political structures that are lasting for the country, for the benefit of the nation. And after his tenure of office, APC came in and destroyed everything. So I'm not trying to be biased like APC, SLPP, but because we cannot discuss this in isolation without mentioning these things. So if that is the case, as you mentioned, that's why I say let it go back. Let go inherit your throne as a paramount chief. Maybe you will get a better Sierra Leone. It's sad. It doesn't. It just tell you there's one main topic, always one word, where we always they try for talk, and sometimes we try for avoid the intensity of that word, that is corruption. These are political prostitutes, that's political corruption. You can name it however, I can give them any name. Because these people don't care, they are money making, politics in Sierra Leone is a money making machine. That's the whole thing about it. They only consider themselves, they don't consider the democracy they are. They only talk about democracy when the thing falls on them. They talk about democracy. But when once you're on the other side, there is no democracy to them. And it's rather unfortunate because the thing they had before don't come earlier on during the time of these things were suspected and the rules were broken. An APC man or SLPP man, I believe that SLPP man they be against that. Before don't come out plain and say, look, what is they happen, we're not ready to come. We are left discourse carpeting from one party to the other. But as you said, after Tpn Kabab tried to lay some structures and after his term of office, APC came in and broke everything, put them apart, and used that as an advantage for them. Yeah. You know how big that it is, because we always look at those programs and we all applaud them. We are cheering on them. Oh yeah, SLPP going to lose their all. This man don't transfer to APC. Look at Tambayo. You know how much we defended Tambayo here on this radio when he was treated badly by the APC government. He joined APC, left SLPP, joined APC. This is the amount of corruption, the intensity of corruption in the country, both politically and otherwise. No matter you see it, they are not steadfast to their jobs. They are not steadfast to the nation. They only care about themselves. And how are we going to handle this situation? Except by talking about it like this and talking to the leaders to make sure they avoid that. And probably, I know it is legal actually, constitutionally, for people to move from one party to the other. But if it becomes abusive, in this case, it is abusive.
Yeah.
It becomes at the detriment of the young democracy of Sierra Leone.
Yes,
so it
correct.
becomes abusive, political abuse. They are actually abusing the country and the advantages of politics in Sierra Leone. So because it reached to that extreme, it is easy for the government to take an action. Because if one thing they take place too much and we feel a threat to our democracy, then the president get for step in. And if he do so, I will be happy for making step in, for making put an injunction on that, a sort of rule to parliament which will pass and then control the movement of people from one party to the other.
Here is the
problem. But this is the thing. If he put that injunction or whatever law he might come out with and approved by parliament, I assure you, when APC, if they are coming anytime soon, when they come, they're going to break that again and take it off and do what they want to do, just like they do to Tpn Network. So where are we going to go?
Here is how, because this now kind of a session where we want to make not only for criticize the practice and the system, we also want to give some kind of suggestion. Like what's in the suggestion where you put a very, very valid. It's not necessarily that they try to beat people then from going from one party to another. But if you then a party, that party they lose election, then it has carpet. You're not supposed to forget any kind of position for the coming term of that party where get where you cross carpet to. I think say probably this go able minimize the danger that this abusive practice don't put in our country. What's now your take on that?
It's a continuation, right, with me?
Yeah.
You still with me?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a salient point. And not only refusing to give the individual where they transfer from one party to the ruling party a position in the government, but also to put what we call qualifications system, which will qualify you to join a party, to cross carpet from one party to the other. You have to meet certain requirements, and the ruling party has to see to it that yes, you have a legitimate reason to move, because the only legitimate reason they have now is because they lose and you are the winner. I'm going to support you. That's all, and that should not be a reason. There should be a reason where you are being maligned by your party, or you are being disgraced for certain things, or bring evidence, or this is what the party has done to you, has done wrong, and as such, because you want to participate in the politics of Sierra Leone, you cannot sit without joining a party. Now, because of this and this, I feel my democracy is on the landline. So as such, I can't join SLPP. Then the ruling party, whether APC or SLPP, will sit down with the committee and look at those reasons why. And until and unless they are authentic, you will not be able to join the party. So these are what they have to put conditions.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I know say it's very, very difficult because of the kind nature, political nature who get that accountability. But it makes a lot of sense for they're able for stamp this because now it seems like if we just left them to the leaders of them party well, they're not going to ever enforce some of this, and they're not going to say this. They actually destroy the fabric of we democracy, So let me come to David. David, what are your take on this particular situation? And Mr. Akagbo, just mute your phone now. Go ahead, David. David, you there? Let me see. Yeah, you there? All right, maybe mute your phone if you dip and talk. We'll not hear you. Yeah?
No, I mute my phone. This was very noisy, but you can go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Kanu, Ahmed Kanu, what's your take on this particular topic?
First and foremost, let me thank you very much for the program today, and let me thank the the analysts, them, amongst we, let me thank the listeners, the audience. Mankuta, na good topic this, for the fact that this cross-carpeting and way they make with democracy very unstable. First and foremost, the inconsistency of politicians, them, and then the role models where we get for let and demonstrate good politics. Now, then, first and foremost, no, they do that. Most of them, not to the all, but most of them. One, the lust for power. They're too ambitious. They're all want for be leaders. Now, the APC, SLPP, AGC, you name it. Everybody want for be leader. And that has caused a problem among the party stalwarts, them, the party's stalwarts. They all want for be leaders. And they're not satisfied at all. Some of them don't even know their capacity in terms of their qualifications and their charisma, who they get. They just want to be president. So that's now one thing, safe way they among with politicians. Then some of them don't even know what thing they require for let them be president. And they go to the parliamentarians. Then now better. You get some people who want to be parliamentarians. We know what for be a council person. Now, when we they talk about them, they throw the facts. Now the TPN radio, what you get, so where would they communicate? And the political parties, they don't get a system. I can tell you that most of the political parties, they don't establish nothing like a system and system. Where we command and demonstrate system, we own tradition, get system. Long time ago, before they can contaminate them. There have been always systems, and then systems then they were established. But when the systems they don't kind of contaminate them again, so the systems then they but they know they work. And because they know they work, there is no process within the political parties. Anybody can just grab a cross-carpet, and anybody can just it's accepted in another party because there is no process where the system no actually allow for that process go the way effective. Then I go say the third factor now, the discipline. When there is no effective system, no get effective process. Of course, the discipline itself they affect the discipline. They become ineffective discipline. Nowadays, they find out you get a lot of sycophants. They find out you get a lot of hypocrites that their political party are. They find out you get a lot of people that were dishonest. They find out you get a lot of people that were disloyal, where they claim to be loyal. Waiting sweet. They see beaucoup people the way actually all their focus is on self-aggrandizement. It's become selfish. When they dip on power, they don't even want less power. Even when they know say the need for less power. Really, the people they don't even like them, and they know say they're not go win election. They still want to stay there. Then you get abuse of power. Where they make we don't kind of weaken with democracy, and you get people the way they support the abuse of power because of the benefits they get out of them. People the way they abuse democracy, they still support them unnecessarily. Now, all them things Mankota put together, there is no effective implementation, because you can't implement anything we not get an effective system. You can't implement anything we not get discipline. You can't implement much of anything we not get a process. So what you need to see inside the hall, where them party so not get any stability, anybody can just go any side, go talk anything, and then party try for behave anyway where they want for behave. They don't want reforms, no nothing. Bribery even they inside it, because I can come out and go this on a SLPP. You tell people in a SLPP right now would they accept bribery? You will go come NGC or SLPC table. You know what in empathy, I be on they better know they are the guy SLPP. They go now the SLPP office, you go bribery, then they take out.
Yeah,
because
Mr. Kanu. Okay,
yes.
You don't highlight all the problems. So what's not the solution towards this now? Like waiting, I mean, Mr. Kabo been talk about. What's not the solution? What's not your suggestion towards this? Because this is very, very complicated.
I therefore highlight first the problem. There are lots of people that will actually know they see that clearly. Now, for make we come to the solution, what we go do for the democracy become stable? We therefore implement the thing I just point out. Every political party, therefore, get established system where they go with the philosophy of the party. When they hold on to the philosophy of the party, then the established system now will be the guideline for the people they not just stand there with them kind of discipline, so way they don't get, and the self-aggrandizement and selfishness way they lead them for do them here. You know, when there is a system, there would be a process, and there would be discipline in these political parties. And political parties themselves for really be very, very keen for say there is no abuse of power. And the democracy where they try for practice, we kind of get guidelines for let nobody know in a political party where just the crappy feel say they are above the established laws, the guidelines them, when they not go stop them. You understand? Oh. So then here all where don't outline so. Now then for really make for let them become effective and be implemented with a seriousness and honesty. So now that they see why we democracy, then they try for destabilize them.
Okay, so the system. Give me one example of the system where you want for make them put in place in order for prevent this, because we already don't know say it's very, very easy for prevent. It just take leadership. Like waiting Tpn Network they do, where somebody can say, me I want for can join the SLPP. Say no, but if everybody can at the SLPP, then we not will get a good democracy in this country. So we need for stay with in fact what we believe in. That I then call a good democracy. So that would have been the easiest way, but it can't find out same. And it's by Koroma no implement that, because you not get no requirements for making implement that. And in fact, it be no same. Bringing people from the other party go able to handicap the opposition and strengthen the young party. The same thing now this president will get when Amada beyond at the same thing. He say, well, SNPP, APC be do am, so therefore me supposed for do am. And two wrong cannot make right. What's in the system there? Like what we put certain systems there, like what him Mr. Kabo bin talk say, there must be some kind of a legislation, parliament where we say, okay, this time to this time, for cross carpet. And if you say the cross carpet, you get forbid this particular requirement before you do them thing and day.
First and foremost, Mankota, the system where they talk, there are systems, established systems that were not effective. That's what I have just said. And because they know they try for make them very effective, now they could get instability with democracy. Now you mentioned the former Tpn, the late President Tpn Network. for say a honor democracy, because he believes say the article I write few days ago, for say anybody will understand say we get more than 11 or more parties in Asalo, there is no doubt that we are democratic. But are we practicing democracy there as we look at party the way they exist? Not at all. That's what I am trying to point out here. We bring late President Kaba for saying one of the best presidents. I agree with you. I mean, APC, but I agree with you because he knows say na a multi-party system make democracy, and the established system, if you na stalwart na one political party, for let you cross carpet, yes. Reagan don't come out na Democratic Party, late President Reagan of America go na the Republican Party, but they accept and they, because they kind of know the way, the mentality of the man. Most of in philosophy and beliefs, as a Democrat, we are more of a Republican. So they don't look at their points. They are all at the Republican Party. People the way they try for watch discipline and process. But let they accept another party. They no say not a person where really they focus on self-aggrandizement and disloyalty, selfishness. They look at all the things and they
and besides, for make I able put more flesh into what they try for talk. And besides, the democracy system here is very, very strong. It's mature. You know, everybody knows say this democracy is immature, but we not just about 20-something years of democracy practices where we don't get so far, and the mentality, the level of illiteracy in that country then is so high that it's very, very unstable if we not try for stabilize this type of political cross-carpeting.
Well, that's you don't hit the main points then. First and foremost, when we talk about the percentage of illiteracy, some of the people, some of the old brothers them and sisters, they were in the party offices them. Lot of us they're not literate people them, but they don't want to understand, and they are more interested in what they get for themselves. Somebody can come, even as somebody who cannot get for accept another party day, based on his background from the other party. Whether no say na loss of power drive them out of the party, once they bribe them with the literacy where they get, not illiteracy, even though they're literate, they understand, but because of the selfishness and self-aggrandizement, they were then at the party office where they for assess and evaluate any new member where they come. I not say them people they no more way a member we just want for cross carpet because they see say with the other party, the other party they don't benefit them. The common man, not to them who need to talk about.
I understand
the stakeholders of a party. You know, the stakeholders, the one who don't get positions as directors, ministers, and this. Now they talk about so. Because now then they actually demonstrate corruption. Where the corruption, they become very obvious, and then it spill down. The common people there, yes. If the SLDP belong the power, they not fix me Poloko area or me Tonkolili area or Kenema area if Nadia come out. If the APC come, he can't fix them and build a bridge or something where they benefit me people them. If you mean a common politician, they cross carpet. I vote for that party, they can do that. What's wrong with that? You know?
That's the exactly that's exactly at the point where we try for talk about me and Mr. Kabo for CS. Cross carpeting, we're not going to ever stop that. But there must be some mechanism. You know, they just cross carpet just because you want to go get power, you want to go get position. Now that make you the cross carpet, not because you believe even to the ideology of that party where they try to forgo. So if you cross carpet, okay, that's fine. But there must be some kind of requirements. Say, okay, we cross carpet. If not cross carpet, you cross carpet. This is the amount of time you get for stay before ever then give any government position. I think say that's go able resolve most of these problems here.
Well, Mankota, now we could talk about distinction, line of distinction. The common politician, if he don't now some part of the country where they don't get a bridge when and they use the bridge and they put palm tree them for let them make a bridge, then they put wood for let them make a bridge. If the APC come and make that bridge the concrete and allow vehicles them for that day, even heavy duty trucks, then they kind of bring some development in that constituency day or that town day. There is a reason for the common politician for cross carpet, not to them need to talk about, because they get reason. They have tangible reasons to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the stalwarts of these parties. Some people they don't they stalwarts here what they talk about. We don't get them political party here. APC, SLPP, where they don't gain prominent positions, where they don't be beneficiaries of from them party, the opportunities. These are the people we are referring to, where they say power not again at the favor, then go join back another party where don't they in power. These are the people we are referring to. This is the line of distinction.
Let me bring in
emergency politician, yeah, even the areas they would have come out, they're not able to develop the.
Let me bring in Mr. Kagbo again. David, if you feel say you comfortable for talk, just come in anytime. We'll give you a chance.
Okay.
If you want to talk, but if you still get noise in the background, so let me bring in Mr. Kagbo. Mr. Kagbo, what about this? Is very very complicated something. What about the people the way they come and argue? Say, well, if we do that thing and that means we don't even go against the constitution because the constitution make very clearly freedom of association at any time.
Yeah, I understand that, but just like you mentioned, that not a new thing. If you matter the for Duam, because it has been done before and under the same constitution, correct?
Yeah.
The constitution can be adjusted through the different organs of government, and if they are serious about the democracy, protecting the democracy, nothing is impossible because that constitution is written by them and by the country. So if they bring a discussion about it, they put it into a discussion and make sure the ordinary man understands it and the reason why it is and the dangers about that, the advantages and disadvantages, see which one surpass the other, then they will be able to make the law. When they are serious about it.
And also, I think even at that, because if we then get make any kind of a law, they restrict the freedom of association. It just restricts the freedom of appointment, to positions.
That's exactly.
Yeah, so exactly. You can cross carpet how you want, but if immediately after the election you say you cross carpet, that means you get to take like 3 years before ever you qualify for appointment to any government position. That they go able to realize right?
Right. But yeah, that's good. But if you want to put it to a permanent situation, I mean, let me tell you something, Mr. Mankota. This is absurd. How you did in a party and one lose, you always got one for win. You always want for being at the winning side. One day side where they criticize. And when things were fine during the let's say for instance SLPP now everything is fine. And the ministers are there. The moment APC come in power, then begin move back. But when the thing, if you have to move, let's say anybody who has to move, now is the time for you to move. And those are some of the restrictions they are going to make. They're going to say, you don't have to wait to lose the election before you move.
Yeah.
And after you lose the election, they could terminate that. They say we don't accept no movements. They can pass the law on that. You can move when things are nice, when you are in power. Yeah, you can move when you are in power. But when power leaves you, there's no reason for you to move. But that probably, just one stroke of that will paralyze the whole thing, and then our democracy will develop.
Yeah.
And what's the problem? The concern you get will likely, definitely going to be resolved.
All right, now bring in Mr. Kano again. Mr. Kano, what do you think about that?
Well, what in Mr. Kabo they mentioned, so there are a lot of facts into it. Like what I made the line of distinction, most of this is kind of focus on we stalwart the Nadem party here, so because the common politician, don't actually get much for for say they go after self-aggrandizement and disloyalty and dishonesty, hypocrisy, sycophancy. The common politician don't see those things and they are not part of it. Because when they were common, in terms of their commonality in politics, being a member of that party, then they actually look forward which development will go come, will go benefit their community. If that development did not come during the reign of a political party, if that political party where they come, then pay attention to them, their concerns, the common politician, it can easily cross carpet, not to the mid top, because they get tangible reasons for cross carpet. Now I'm talking about the stalwarts, the stakeholders, the way they do that. Now in Mr. Kabo, they also talk about these people have to be given some kind of attention.
But
so that
we only get 5 minutes, so this 5 minutes I want to take on for make I give you a chance for make if you get anything outside of the topic where you want to say, you go see that will give us 1.5 minutes, and then we go from there. So now we able to stay no more within 1 hour of the program, because it seems like when they go up to 2 hours, sometimes Facebook they take time for make them able to upload that one day, so we're able to minimize more. Let's start with Mr. Kabo. Mr. Kabo, if you get anything where you want to discuss, where relevant in terms of the country or anything, go ahead.
Well, I just emphasize on the situation, the same thing I've been put, just to buttress that and to show how important it is. And in order for us to grow our democracy, which is in a fragile state, we will make sure we get the type of politicians then where we expect in the country, rather than money-making machine politicians then. Politicians then where no one for lose, they always want to be in the winning side. Politicians that will feel say the only way to survive is to be a politician. And then kind people then. So because of that trend, and everybody in Sierra Leone is involved into it, we know the whole one political party responsible, though SLPP had tried that before, and the APC broke that, but let's say let the bygones be the bygones. But now, if at all, I will suggest to the country, to the representatives, the leaders of the country, if possible, they put measures based on this movement from one party to the other. And one critical situation they will look at is that when your party is in power, within that period of 5 years or maybe 10 years, or when it is in power, if you have to cross carpet, you have anything in your mind which you believe is you're not satisfied during the good times of your party, now you need a cross carpet. And by doing so, you therefore get reasons, and there should be laid down rules and how to cross carpet and what reasons must make you cross carpet based on how you are treated, because this country still need you. If you are treated bad in SLPP, no one for left politics. You have to be in another party. But you have to have a reason, cogent reason, where you make where you move there. And that's all I'll say. And we will appreciate that if the politicians could look at it into that way.
Let me go to Americano. Americano, go ahead.
Bankota, this thing they talk is just similar, briefly, to waiting we self the impact to get where with the Canadian radio as APC members, we discuss the thing them where we feel say not they go right now party. We be not they do and whole party they in power. Now we get more people that we don't join with. We not been joined with before. Because we party not in power again. Then they can show up like say, then there be people that we stand for correct with party, let party not lose. We get them more now. Now the same thing imply now. You get people that will not be the cross carpet where we party they in power. Okay? They not be the cross carpet, you know they see and you know they hear that stuff. Now that we party don't lost, then they come out boldly for criticize or cross carpet for do all kind of sycophancy and dishonesty, disloyalty to the APC. Because they know that the APC not in power. Now the NLP get for do something to them kind of people and they let them not just can't join them party for sweet. Let them drop them commodity.
All right, thank you very much.
Mr. Bankota, I don't be having this as how we noisy, so I'm not going for Hamburg now.
Okay.
But on that issue today, to me the way me look up, I understand the concern. If NGC member they want cost carpet, let them cost carpet. That's their own problem. If they like we politicians who they see other institution in the form, let them they dislodge themselves just like how them inform. So 2003, we all go know how they. Until you know that they say normally politicians not they take transfer. So to me that the whole issue, the only thing no more. Now as we move forward, now we pay attention and let we structure our organization there so that we go able to caution people and see how they operate. And we got to deal with members them properly. So we're not going to give them the opportunity. Let us begin to change both. You understand? Eh? But that cross carpet business, it don't do from time and eternity now, salon politics. There's salon man, they also switch day that they want to go. So if the NGC member, they all want to go and accept people, let them go, then less problem for me.
Well, I understand the point where you try to talk about, but the problem here is we are looking at the bigger picture, we then call the macro. You know, the macro in terms of with democracy, because to be honest with you, cross carpeting is something where they happen every time now any country, but it has to be minimized. It for affect the integrity of the very democratic principles the way they try for foster. You know, if any time when a political party they empower all the other. Or many of the other members then at the other political party, then they go to that party day. Then when one day, who's kind of relevance where it actually bring will be not there na one party state so where everybody they come in and join the party in power. So if we say within a multi-party democracy, then we see some of them here they make them here. They even reduce the relevance of the multi-party democracy who they talk about. And there must be some way we will be able to minimize that. The fact that we country not so strong democratically yet, they try for put things then together and try for shape in a way where we want and for make it be in the future. That now we supposed for make sure say we minimize them in the cause carpeting it happen, but it has to be minimized. Like what Tpn Network they do. Tpn Network, yes. A lot of people that will be one for cross carpet to Tpn Network. It tell them say, bro, if we are all transfer to the SLPP, so we don't get viable opposition. You know, and a democracy without a viable opposition is not a democratic society. It not going to succeed. Democracy not going to succeed because there is nobody, no accountability, no checks and balances. These are the points they try to talk about. Yes, cross carpet, but when you cross carpet, let's put systems then say, okay, if you just say like what then they do so, or they go back home and not be no say this is something when a bull crap excuse. All right, if they come back home now, let us say 3.5 years when you come back home before ever then begin to consider you. If anything that they happen by the time when 3.5 years they done, everybody they focus on the next election, not so. So that time you go think twice for say you know what thing. Let me stock inside a day if I get for stock, or if I want for cross carpet, let me give up a cross carpet because I know say the next 1.5 year probably my party go lose election. So it they minimize the kind thing, and then kind system, then kind things and they are one for let we country try for Putin. Go ahead if you want for respond, David.
Mr. Mankota, I agree. I see you frustrated, but unfortunately, in all the possible at the African zone, me number one, I'm glad it's all money left NG. I don't like tell you, I don't care which way you look at. It better now wait for my own party with me they support.
Well, not NGC no more, Mr. David, not NGC no more. There are people right now who they left APC.
Guys, they want to sugar hands them. You see?
Well,
so why should they sabi them? Would they see them? Would they mark them? Now that way they know more. Would they mark them? Would they mark them followers? But I'm telling you the truth. As long as we organize and try to organize and respect ourselves, we will see the difference and we will still hold power. We will still be more stronger. And the good them program your way, you will do so when they bring their information out for let people and conscious say them behavior. I know help. You know, will help the democracy, the development of the political arena. You know, will help. You know, and so let us stay in each political organization. Let us get vibrant and strong opposition, because a strong opposition at parliament now going to develop a country.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now because what thing they happen at parliament now, say people will not get no answer. We will not even know what thing they go on safe. We will not know how the parliamentary and they perform safe. You understand? Maybe one of the two you get for do safe next day. You get for try for figure out how you go engage some of the parliamentary. Yeah? Then they kind of them program and they can explain to we say what's going on at parliament. It not look like they represent you because in a salary don't go up in all they represent yourself in the look side and them they say and they give brown envelope. Maybe in that same system they didn't say for one begin pan for go collect brown envelope. You understand? So if we continue this then forum continue to talk about any issues there. I think to say you yourself and many other would involved, they do a great job. So that's I can left another part there.
All right. Well, I just want to thank you all. We'll see you back next week the same time. We'll go try for bringing somebody next week by God's power. I will not announce it until we confirm that. So I thank you very much again. See you.